What is going on, brothers? This is David Lyon, founder of Evolving Man. So in this video, I want to talk about what you can do if you very often feel like a little child inside of you. So this is something that I've heard from a lot of men in the past few weeks, and it's something that I know so well from my own experience, is this kind of in your daily life, noticing how often you simply feel like a little child. Like everything is overwhelming, you feel insecure, you feel like everyone else knows exactly what they're doing and you don't. And there's kind of no way out of it for you. And obviously when you feel like a little child, it's pretty tough to feel empowered to really do what you want to do and change your life or create the things that you care about. So in this video, I want to go into a bit more detail about why it's actually a pretty cool thing, like you're in a really good place when that is your experience, and what you can do to take the next step, which is create enough space inside of you so that you realize you're not just that little child. And so it's going to be very practical, so stay with me till the end. So let me start again by saying that if that is you, if you can often feel inside of you like you're a little child, you're in a great place. Why? First of all, it takes a lot of courage to even realize that this is going on. And in my experience, most people out there, if not everyone, is often run by an inner child. But most of us are not noticing it. So if you're at the stage where you're seeing that, you are so much closer to changing this than most other people. Now, the other thing is, the fact that you are aware of it means that it's almost like there's a readiness for you to find a way to relate to this inner child in a different way. If you were not ready at all for this, you wouldn't be aware of it, right? So think of it this way. This is your edge right now. This is the edge of your consciousness, the edge of your growth is, okay, there is this inner child, or there are these many inner childs, and they're often running the show. So that means you're ready to find a new way to relate to them, okay? Now, what is it that you can do, or what is it that actually needs to change for you to not feel like an inner child? Okay, first thing is, we don't want to get rid of these inner childs, of these inner children. We don't want to say, this insecurity just needs to go away, then I can live my life. Right? Like that's often the first impulse we have. But in fact, what we want to do is, as I said in the beginning, create enough space inside of you that this inner child can be there, can feel seen, you can connect to the awesome qualities that this child is bringing to your life, like the curiosity and the wonder and the playfulness, the creativity, but it's not running the show. It's not the only thing that's there. And so to do that, for me, is a very physical thing. That's why I keep on hammering onto the embodiment stuff, because when you create enough space inside of your body, you realize that this inner child is just one experience that you can access in this moment, but you're so much more. And so the very practical way to do this is when this is happening, when you feel like there's an inner child running the show, you slow down, you take a few deeper breaths. Let's take one together right now. Do some sounds on the exhale. Good. So now you tune into your body and you check, where do I feel that inner child? If there was a body area connected to this inner child, what would it be? Okay, and so whatever it is, might be your chest, might be your belly, might be your arms, might be your pelvis, might be your legs. And so you locate it, and then you kind of check, okay, and what is the experience there? Like, what do I feel in this part of my body? What's going on there? Okay, now the next thing that you want to do is connect to a different part of your body that feels good and open and relaxed, and there's a kind of a flow of energy. So a good place for that can be your feet and your legs. So you just connect to what's going on there, or your hands. If you're sitting, you can also use your back, right? And so we do that so that you find some kind of stability inside of your body. And notice that when you connect to these parts of your body, this is not your inner child. This is something else. Okay. And so once you feel connected to this other part, to your feet, your legs, your arms, whatever it is that you found, you go back to the place where you located the inner child. Okay. And you feel into it. And when you feel like it's overwhelming you, like you get sucked in and it feels again like this is all there is, you go back to the other sensations. You go back to what we just connected to before. Okay, and so what you do, this takes some time, this takes some practice. Don't do it once and be like, oh, it didn't work. No, it takes work. But over time, what you're practicing is you're creating this kind of spaciousness inside of your body where discomfort and pain and emotions can come up, and there's enough space around it, there's enough space to breathe for these experiences that you don't get like sucked into them and you don't feel like that's everything there is. But it's like, oh, okay, so here's an inner child, that I feel in my belly, and it feels pretty uncomfortable, but I also feel connected to my feet, and they kind of give me this sense of groundedness, and I feel my arms, and I feel an openness in my chest. So you got to notice that there's so many different things going on in your body that it's not going to feel anymore like I am this inner child. And of course, you're at times going to get sucked in, but then you do what I said, you're going to practice connecting to different body parts, which makes you realize, oh, look, I'm not just this. I'm not just the inner child. There's also other stuff going on. Cool. And what you practice by that is instead of giving this part, this inner child, the driver's seat, right? Like when you feel like the inner child is everything there is, it's going to make all the decisions. And so, of course, a child is not always the best decision maker, right? Because it doesn't have all the knowledge. There's not the adult that you are also to make the right choices, to kind of zoom out and see, okay, what is the smartest thing I can do right now? And in fact, the inner child doesn't even want to make the decisions. The inner child, what it really wants is for you to be its parent, to be its father, so that it can relax, so that it feels seen, and you make the decisions, right? Very practical example. If you're with a child and it's screaming for ice cream, even though it had ice cream half an hour ago, you're not going to just let the child have another ice cream. You're going to be like, no, you just had an ice cream, and you're going to be loving to it, but you're also going to be firm and clear. And so that's what we practice. So the more that you do this, the more that you connect to these different body parts, the more you'll realize, oh, this is just one experience. And you're going to feel spacious. And that has just so many positive implications. It's going to be way easier for you to be spacious with other people as well, right? Like when someone triggers you, it's not going to always be like this, and now I feel only triggered. It's like, okay, I feel triggered, but I also still feel centered and connected and so on and so forth. So this is a key practice in embodiment, in becoming a mature adult. So I want you to practice this. If you have any questions about this, please put them in the comments. And as always, with Evolving Man, you're seen, you're loved, you're appreciated. Keep evolving, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.